Nancy Pelosi's like, some of your faves will be implicated.
Some of your faves, just always know you should support those bitches.
Look the other way.
The Jeffrey Epstein thing was, who was it? It was Pelosi's daughter.
No, Pelosi said some of our faves will be implicated.
That was Pelosi or her daughter?
Oh, well, okay.
I think it was her daughter.
Was it her daughter? That's still like, you're related.
It's a little bit more understandable because she's young.
Yeah, you're right. Christine,
Pelosi. She's like a documentary filmmaker.
Yeah. It's quite likely that some of our faves are implicated in the horrific sex trafficking.
Some of our faves are going to be implicated in the horrific child rape and torture. These are some of our faves. Listen.
Yeah, should be like an emoji in that statement.
Yeah.
Like,
don't listen.
Yes.
Yes, queen. Okay, so here's the deal.
They were tied up.
Some of our faves are participating in human trafficking. That we know. But they're still our faves. They're still like our faves. Don't forget the good times, like the fun times that we had with them, the SNL skits about them.
Yeah.
That were just fun. These are our faves. These are like the people that we grew up with. Okay? So like, don't.
Yeah, it's like a Gilmore Girls reunion.
Yeah.
Some of our faves are back.
Lorelai sits down. She's like, Rory, some of our faves are raping and torturing children. But don't forget that time that we all went to the Christmas tree lighting together. That still means something, Rory. Rory, that still means something. Nobody's just any one thing. Someone could be just a fun, great person and also the torturer of children.
Yeah.
Innocent children.
But they're like, Trump was there. Kill him.
Right. Kill Trump. Trump was at a cocktail party. Kill him.
I read a long time ago that Trump was like around the Epstein shit, but he like told people to get the get the fuck away from that young girl. Like
Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because people were complaining that Epstein was hitting on like young girls at the pool. I think one of the members of Mar-a-Lago was like, we can't have this.
Yeah.
And I think Trump, to his credit, was like, okay,
right,
this is fucking up my business now. This man sleeping with children has now started to fuck up my bottom line.
Yeah.
So let's get him out of here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I read that. Yeah. No, I don't know.
I mean,
sounds like him.
Here's my concern, folks. My concern is for the Clintons. I just don't want Bill and Hillary Clinton to be ensnared in an episode, in a drama.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with this.
No.
It doesn't matter.
I just want them to ride off into the sunset unscathed.
I just want them to win again. I want Hillary to get into the Democratic primary, win again, build a pardon Epstein, and then no one cares. Everyone's like, yes, queen. And they all get on Epstein's jet and just fly off.
Yeah.
That's what I want because I'm an American.
Yeah.
And I want Bill Clinton put out a statement today from his publicist because this is what innocent people do. This is what I am having my manager draft a statement right now.
Yeah.
That says I have no clue. I can imagine my manager. Listen, he only flies very shitty airlines. He books last minute. It's skip lagged. It's a scam. He gets off at the connecting city. He's usually in a middle seat. People complain about it. They don't like him. It's not good. But let's get Clinton's statement up. It's great.
I'm on Fox News because I thought that they would, be the best.
They have somebody texted it to me. My friend texted me the statement. About 15 people have texted me Clinton's statement.
Bill
by
Clinton
the way,
knows nothing.
This is reunited. You don't understand how many friendships that this has reinvigorated. Epstein getting caught for child trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
So many people that haven't spoken in so long are like, man, what are you up to? How have you been? I'm like, good, man. I'm like, are you engaged? It looks like you're engaged. They're like, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's bringing us all together.
It's bringing us all together. It's fucking, that's what it should do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silver lining.
Yeah, some good should come of this.
Something good should come of this, okay? So here's Clinton's statement. This is his statement that was made through his spokesman. President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago. Or those, immediately, or those with which he has been recently charged in New York. In 2002 and 2003, President Clinton took a total of 4 trips on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane, which I don't think is true. 1 to Europe, 1 to Asia, 2 to Africa, which included stops in connection with the work of the Clinton Foundation. Which, I mean, come on. The fuck, what are they doing? You know, we're all supposed to ignore that the guy was on the pedophiles plane 4 times?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was doing work with the Clinton Foundation. Is there no other plane that goes to Africa or Asia? Was that the only plane?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's called the Lolita Express.
Staff, supporters of the foundation, and his Secret Service detail traveled on every leg of the trip. They're also fucking kids.
Yeah.
Probably. That's probably why they got the job guarding Clinton.
Yeah.
They're like, you want to do some parties? Guard Clinton.
Yeah. The
Guard
flight attendants are children.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you got 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds are pushing the car.
Serving cocktails. And then pulling their pants up.
He had one meeting with Epstein in his Harlem office in 2002. Okay. Why? Again, this is more questions than, okay, what are you talking about? And around the same time, made one brief visit to Epstein's New York apartment with a staff member and his security detail. He's not spoken to Epstein in well over a decade and has never been to Little St. James Island, Epstein's ranch in New Mexico, or his residence in Florida. I want everyone to realize what's happening. You have an ex-president of the United States, through his spokesman, saying that he has never been to the pedophile island.
I know.
This is wild, dude.
Yeah.
This is fucking wild.
Yeah.
You have an ex-president going, I was never to...
Who's advising him to put out a statement?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not what you do when you're completely innocent.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. It doesn't feel like an innocent... My father doesn't have a statement ready to go on this.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. He's never been to the island where they were fucking the kids. I mean, he's got to clarify that.
Yeah, he's like, no, I stayed downstairs.
Bill's only been on the thing 4 times because they were doing work with the Clinton Foundation. Good, wholesome Clinton Foundation work. Okay? Yes, he was on the plane. Yes, Epstein was on the plane. Yes, they were fucking kids, but not Bill. Bill needed a ride to Asia for the Clinton Foundation. So he just went on the plane and he, took his Xanax and fell right out. He didn't wake up with some 13-year-old's pussy in his mouth. Not at all. Not at all. And don't think it. Can we address the Billie Eilish thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea that was offensive.
It wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think it was.
It wasn't. Can you summarize what we said about Billie Eilish? And then there were some
she's
reactions.
An MK Ultra victim,
right.
And that she looks like she's being forced to go up there and dance, and looks like
I made a joke
involved in Satanism. Funny things.
I made a joke.
Jokes
that involved the premise that Harvey Weinstein was a rapist.
Right.
Sorry. I apologize. You're right. He's not been convicted in a court of law. So you're absolutely right about that. It was irresponsible of me to insinuate, based on my best knowledge, that old Harv took advantage of people in the entertainment industry, specifically women. And I made a joke. Maybe it was a tasteless joke, but that's what I do. That's what we do.
Have they seen any of the other clips?
And the joke was that this girl, who I did not know was a minor, I didn't know she was a minor.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I didn't know what she was. She could have been 24. She could have been 34. She was bleeding out of her eyes in the video. I didn't think she was a minor. She was doing songs about fucking people's dads. I didn't think she was a Shirley Temple. I apologize for not thinking that she was fucking Shirley Temple. She's bleeding out of her eyes in a video and saying, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Come get me. So I said she looked like somebody who kept Harvey Weinstein kept in a cage and raped for 10 years. We put the clip up on it. And then at the end, I said, I'm Billy Raped Me or whatever. I should have worded it maybe differently because it wasn't as funny because the Weinstein was funnier. And then the rule is the tags always have to be funnier than the...
Right.
And then people got angry.
People or Instagram?
Well, Instagram took it off. And then people in the comments were defending Instagram because people were like, she's the minor and you don't know. You don't know. See, again, if you just abduct and rape minors, you get away with that for decades. But that was up. If you make a joke
Yeah.
about a horrible world that we live in, it's down within 24 hours.
Right.
So people were defending Instagram. They're like, well, I knew this was going to be taken down as soon as it went up because she's a minor. And I'm defending the big faceless corporation. Isn't Instagram owned by Facebook? Aren't there people on Facebook live streaming their suicides? Aren't people checking out? Didn't the Christchurch shooter, what did he do on Facebook? Didn't he live stream a shooting on Facebook? The Christchurch shooter? Okay?
Yeah.
He live streamed a terrorist attack on your platform.
But he was 18 and older.
Right. He was an adult. I'm sorry. Sorry for my quip. Sorry for my quip about a multimillionaire. Go back to live streaming mass death.
It also kind of makes Instagram seem pro Weinstein. Like you're trying to, make a joke about him.
They are. I don't know who these people are at the gram. The fuck works at the gram? These people think the only people that get respect are fucking, these people. We're in the era of thought comedy now. Poster selfie, bitch.
Yeah.
We're in an era of thought comedy. Duck face, empty-headed retards making faces, and it's come fuck me comedy.
Yeah.
That's what people are doing. Don't you want to maybe fuck me? Come see my show. And listen, it is what it is. People make money the way they make money. But that's where we are now. It's thought comedy. People want to talk about, people are posting real thirst trap photos of themselves. Because I'm a comedian. I'm funny. Come get it. That's what they're doing. And it is what it is. But that's what Instagram would love everything to be.
Yeah.
Just duck face, thoughts.
Just full of bimbos.
Just full of people, fitness trainers.
Yeah.
Here's how to make a turkey burger. You want to make a turkey burger? I'll tell you right now, I was in an Uber today with a guy who had to be 700 pounds. At a certain point, Uber has to say no.
Yeah.
He looked like Israel Comic Weewol. His fat had spilled from the driver's seat into the back seat, and I was sitting with another person. I thought I took a pool, but it was the rest of him in the back. And I'm not in shape. I get it. But this was too much. I'm going to lose weight because fat now is like this proud identity that I don't want to be a part of. That's why I have to lose weight. I don't want to be part of like the fat movement.
It's like becoming cool.
It's becoming the
it's like
thing.
the cool band, and you knew them before.
I'm not even ashamed to be on a beach. I should be. I'm not even ashamed. I'm just walking around like, yes, bitch. Because that's what it's about now. Yeah. So I gotta scale it down. I hope and pray. Maybe I'll become a thought comic.
Yeah.
I'll just start posting selfies like this. Hey, my clip is coming. You ready? You ready for my comedy clip? You like it? You want it? We're in the era. I had somebody over the other day and I go, just accept that this is done. That the world we're living in is kind of over.
Yeah.
We're at the end of humanity. We're hopefully going to the post-human era where this phone will be in your fucking body within 10 years. And we're done. We ran a race. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't, I don't want to be too dark. I don't want to be that guy that depresses everybody.
No, you're never that guy.
But I just want to let people know that it's all here, folks. We have an ex-president going, I was never on the pedophile island. Can you imagine? I was never on. Hey. I was not on the pedophile island.
Yeah.
What?
It feels like something in the realm of what Trump would say. Like, like Trump would actually address it just because he just says anything. And now Clinton is kind of.
I said it on Twitter. This ends with Alex Jones getting the Medal of Freedom. And we're going to find out that he was right about Sandy Hook. We're going to find. That's next, by the way.
I could see it happening.
That's next. We find out there never was a Sandy Hook. That's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that will not be the Instagram clip. That will not be the Instagram clip. The Instagram clip's just going to be me talking about how to make a turkey burger. Is this a lean meat, brown rice, put it in a bowl. You ever watch the Instagram fitness people? They're all hot.
Yeah.
They're all great looking.
Yeah.
They all just take pictures of themselves all day. These fucking models. I follow a few of them.
Yep.
They just sit there.
Putting their tits in front of French toast.
I always comment, like one kid, they all wrap it up with like positivity. It's always like, one kid was like, your face, like you should smile, and because your face, I'll show you exactly what happened, because I commented, and I will continue, by the way. I just want some interaction, and none of these fuckers give me the interaction that I want. But do you need help out there? I know you do. I know you do. I know each and every one of you needs something. You don't know what it is, but there's a clawing feeling, like something that lives inside of you is eating away at the part of you that matters, the only part of you that matters, the part of you that came alive as a child, the part of you that still believes that things will be ultimately good, the part of you that believes in love, the part of you that hopes for a better world. You believe that, you believe that part of you is essential to you, and you're correct. And as you get older, that part of you wears away little by little. Every disappointment, every slight, every dark episode of your life kind of makes that little hopeful inner child scream a little more, and you lose yourself. You slide into an abyss. You can't feel it happening. It's like the nothing. You ever see The Never-Ending Story? It's a great film. It's about a guy named Atreyu, and he's who gives a fuck what he is? He's rides a horse through a magical land, and it's being eaten. And what's eating it? The nothing. That's what's eating it. Not some big evil character, not Donald Trump, okay? The nothing. Just the absence of good, the absence of anything is just eating. And Atreyu loses his horse in the swamps of sadness. It's a great fucking movie. And then there's a big rock creature. And then there's also a big turtle named Morla. And the turtle says one of my favorite things ever. They go, "Do you care?" And the turtle goes, "We don't care whether or not we care." That's what it's about. You see what I mean, folks? That's what it is. Answer questions with that. I don't care what the question is. Start looking at people, look them right in the eye and go, "We don't care whether or not we care." That's it. The nothing is eating you, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You're wrong. You're wrong. You can go to betterhelp.com/Tim Dillon. Okay? BetterHelp is online counseling. It's here for you. They offer licensed professional counselors who specialize in issues like depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, anger, family conflicts, self-esteem, and more. BetterHelp lets you connect with your professional counselor in a safe and private online environment. Anything you share is confidential. If you're not happy, you can switch at any time to another therapist. You can schedule secure video or phone sessions plus chat and text with your therapist. Okay? You can switch at no additional charge. I don't remember how Atreyu beat the nothing. I don't remember. I also don't remember believing that he did. I thought the nothing was kind of going to win. But I don't think it did at the end. Maybe it did. It should have, I think. Because it was looking very, but it's a movie. But I don't want the nothing to win. We all battle against our own nothing. I'm trying to think how he said the Luck Dragon had a big part in it. Falcor, that big dog. Okay? That huge dog. It was a white dog, big white Luck Dragon. It was not a dog, it's a furry dragon. He helped defeat the nothing. I don't know how. Because the nothing seemed very formidable. And then this kind of happy, dumb, big puppet flying around. It's like, well, if that was, could we have done that earlier in the film? Why? I don't know. Maybe the rock creature had something to do. I don't know what happened. I want to watch the film again. My point is this, okay? The nothing doesn't have to win. You don't have a luck dragon. You don't have a big, fluffy white dog. And if you do, you're a racist. You're a Nazi. But what you do have is a great online counseling service called BetterHelp. 10% off your first month by going to betterhelp.com/timdillon, TIMDILLON. Why not get started today? betterhelp.com/TIMDILLON. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a professional counselor that you'll love. I'm just looking up the ending to Neverending Story here because I personally want to understand what happened at the end. Let's just see here at the end. So here's the plot. At the end of the movie, I don't want to ruin it, but I'm gonna ruin it. The Empress tells Bastian that he has the power to bring back Fantasia within his imagination. Well, Bastian recreates Fantasia as he flies on Falcor's back. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And then he sees the land and its inhabitants restored. This movie's retarded. And that Atreyu has been reunited with Artax, the horse that died in the swamps of sadness. When Falcor asks what his next wish will be, Bastian then brings Falcor back to the real world to chase down the bullies from before. The film ends with the narration that Bastian has had many more wishes and adventures and adds, but that's another story. So Falcor, the luck dragon, comes into the real world because the kid's being bullied and he scares the bullies. Yeah. I mean, listen, folks, it's not The Godfather, okay? Don't start with me. I'm trying to help you out. BetterHelp. I do like the nothing, though. I do find that a fitting metaphor, and I do like that we don't care quote from the big turtle. Okay? And I do like the rock creature. And I do like the Neverending Story, too, because there was an acid river and very shiny metal and glass boats. And I kind of like the idea of that. And if somebody fell in the river, they would burn up. I like if they did something like that in Orange County. Something like very shiny and deadly like that. I think that's a BetterHelp.com/TimDillon. Thank you. Goodbye. Is your Uncle Stan, who I love on social media at all?
No.
Who is Uncle Stan? Because this guy, I have to meet this guy.
He's my gay 83-year-old unofficial uncle who just kind of like became friends with my mom when she was pregnant with me and just forced his way into my life and called himself my uncle. And I would spend summers in his antiques shop and he would take me to plays. And
he's been banned from
tons of restaurants. He's just super sassy and mean and hates women and just talks to anybody about their sex life.
I have to meet this fucking guy.
It would be amazing.
This is the guy that I have to meet because this guy seems like a guy that, you
might be, aging into him.
Yeah. I'm going to age into him if I'm lucky. Why does he get banned from all these restaurants?
Because he speaks like, he thinks he's half Mexican, but he just looks like Jack Nicholson, but he thinks like it comes across to people that he's like Hispanic, and he'll speak really bad Spanish to people and say horrible things like, oh, your boyfriend's probably fucking some other girl right now. I mean, look at you. You're not even good looking. Like, he's crazy.
What, does he say that in a restaurant?
Yeah, in a restaurant.
God bless this fucking guy.
He'll be at the grocery store and he'll be talking to the guy checking him out. Like, how's your sex life, Juan? Do you fuck good? And he'll like gesture like a fuck gesture.
Are you fucking Juan?
Are you fucking good, Juan?
What does
be
Juan
racist.
say?
They just, I don't know. Please just
because he wants to fuck Juan.
Yes,
yeah, I'll do shit like that.
He wants to fuck everybody.
Yeah,
he'll be really racist to hosts at restaurants that don't seat him quick. Like he'll be like, "I'm a diabetic cocksucker. You better seat me. I'll call the Better Business Bureau on you." He's always threatening to call the Better Business Bureau. He'll say that he'll ask them what their ethnicity is and be like, "Where are you from?" And they'll be like, "El Salvador." And he'll be like, "Oh, the El Salvadorians, they're all users." He'll just get super racist.
Dude, we're going to get a shirt that says, "I'm a diabetic cocksucker." That's coming. So if you're into the merch, "I'm a diabetic cocksucker" is coming.
Oh, we got to make it.
People that don't start trouble in restaurants, I can't understand them. I don't even want to be near somebody who's not been in an altercation in a restaurant. They're not my people at all. My mother was like that. My mother, God love her, she is in an institution. But my mother, we used to go out to dinner every meal because she didn't cook and they didn't know how to manage their money. They just thought you went out to eat. That's what trash people think you do when you have money. Okay? Like, I remember one chick that I went to school with, real trash pig. And she would go out to like Fridays all the time. This was like a few years, maybe after college. Somebody commented, "Oh, you go out to eat a lot." And she just goes, "Yeah, it's part of my lifestyle." And that's what trash people think. And that's the way I've lived my life. When you're trash, you think going out to a restaurant is, because literally the only people who can't do it are homeless people. So you're above them. Yeah. You're like above the homeless. And that's where, you're like, look at me. So my mother used to go out and she would order the special, and she would always order it like it would be a fish special. And she'd be like, let's get it without the sauce and without any of the veg. Like, I just want the fish on the plate with butter, which already chefs don't like. Mm-hmm. And she'd go, I'd like some French fries lightly cooked. And then the French fries would come and they wouldn't really be lightly cooked. And my mother would call the waitress over. And these people know her, so they all have PTSD. And my mother would go, hey, let me ask you a question. Do these French fries look lightly cooked to you? Do they look? Like, it would be great. It'd be like a question and answer. She never just got to the complaint. She turned it into a courtroom. Let me ask you a question. Do these French fries, to you, maybe I'm wrong, do they look lightly cooked? And then the waitress would go, nah, I guess not that lightly cooked. My mother would go, right. Let me ask you another question. If the chef back there can't figure out how to make French fries, do you think he's in the right line of work? So now my mother has led her into this. And the lady's like, I don't know. And then I swear to God, one time the lady said to my mother, he's had a really rough time. I think his wife is sick. It's really tough. I think his wife has cancer. And my mother just looks at her and goes, well, I assume the meal is free. Woo!
Oh, that's great.
And those are the people I want to be around.
Yeah.
I want to be around people that get so angry in a restaurant, they start to look like they're going to get physically violent.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Like that 5 Easy Pieces scene.
Yeah.
That kind of like broke the barrier for treating waiters like pieces of shit.
Well, here's the thing with waiters, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. Waiters often are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
That's not always, but in some cases, waiters and waitresses should be tortured. Because, and I know that there's a lot of them that are going to email and tweet and call, like, you don't understand, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Well, then get another job, okay? This is my only happiness.
Did you go to Swingers again?
I did. Let me tell you right now.
Is that same lady there?
No, she was probably home. God only knows, doing God only knows what, trying to make her dreams come true. By the way, the waitresses at Swingers all look like 13-year-old Epstein, like chicks that were kicked off the plane before they took off. It looks like Epstein lined them up. Went, no. You go serve hummus in West Hollywood. You're out.
It was a pedophile dodgeball game.
It's
You're
what it
picking
looks
teams.
like. It's children.
Yeah.
In fucking Swingers. Dumb diner. The problem with West Coast diners is you need diner people. I'm a diner person.
Yeah.
West Coast people is like cool people in the diner. You don't want cool people in a diner.
Right.
You want people that are like, that's their home. Mm-hmm. That's their home. Mm-hmm. My mother would sit for hours in a diner because she didn't want to come home to her loveless marriage. So that's her home. And you better treat her like that. You better bring that stuffed flounder.
Yeah.
And it better be exactly what she wanted. And if not, my waitresses would sit in the booth and talk to my mother, Mm-hmm. But I mean, Swingers is just these people that are like, hey, have you made a decision? Yeah, I've made a decision. I've made a decision to shoot up this restaurant. I don't know.
Doing like an impression of a diner, like those fake 50s diners, shit like that on the West Coast over
that
here.
Fake.
Mel's. It's like, this isn't a diner.
Norms and Mel's. Yeah. This is what eating French toast was like during segregation. Enough. Enough with you fucking LARPing in the fucking lives of 50s diner waitresses that were fucking competent, by the way, because if they weren't, they got a boot to the face.
From Epstein to diners.
These are all problems. These are all issues. Pedophile cults, the death of the diner.
Yeah.
All problems. I want to talk about this too, because I did just stay in a Marriott Courtyard. And the Marriott at one time was one of my favorite hotels. Can someone shut that dog up?
Emma, stop.
Emma, enough. What, are you nervous too? Were you on the plane? I stayed in the Marriott Courtyard. What is your favorite hotel chain?
I like Holiday Inn when I've been there. Like the suites or whatever. I haven't been
The
to,
suites?
I don't know. The Express suite. I haven't been to
The
many hotels.
Express suites?
I don't get out much. I don't,
The Express
suites.
You like to get in and
I
out?
went to one in Oklahoma. They had a big continental breakfast. A lot of fat people. It was nice. I liked being around it.
The Marriott used to be the gold standard for hotels in this fucking country because they were Mormon. Mormons are clean, disciplined people. They have irrational beliefs, but who cares? They don't drink. They don't smoke. They keep it clean. They keep it efficient. They keep it moving. They had a great hotel, the Marriott. They had a Marriott nice breakfast buffet. My mother used to take me to the breakfast buffet. It was a nice thing that we did on Sundays. Now, somebody has convinced Marriott. Marriott's bought like every hotel. They own like 35 million hotel chains now. Someone has now convinced Marriott, instead of having a real restaurant in the hotel and room service, they now have something called Bistro to Go. Bistro to Go is like a partner with Starbucks. It's a glorified Starbucks where you can get food that's preheated in a bag and put in a box, a cardboard box, and delivered to your room like you're in one of those detention centers on the border. That's what you feel like when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what happened.
Mm.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And these new modern hotels that want to make everything modern, that's not what you want in a hotel. That's what you want in an apartment. I want a nice, warm, homey feeling. I want a real restaurant. I want a nice buffet. I want an angry Asian chef making omelets who's a woman who's very efficient and very angry. That's who I want. I don't want a glorified fucking Starbucks. I don't want to eat out of a fucking box.
Yeah.
Okay?
Are hotels not doing room service like anymore, really, or is
it's
turning into like an Amazon Prime delivery of like some shit?
I went to a hotel once. I ordered room service, and then they said, "Okay, it's at the front desk. You can pick it up." And I said, "No. It is room service. On the phone, it says room service. Doesn't say desk service. It says you bring it to my room. If I was going to leave my room, I'll just leave the property. The food isn't good. I'm paying a huge premium for mediocre shit that I'm going to eat in my room while I watch YouTube or whatever else." They go, "No, it's at the desk." I said, "The hell it is. Please bring it up." And they said, "It's at the desk." And I screamed as loud as I could into the phone, "I am a paraplegic. I am a fucking paraplegic." And there was silence. And then guess what? Knock on the door with my food. And I don't know if even the room service person knew that I was a paraplegic, but they probably did. They were probably like, "You got to bring this up to this." So I opened the door and they saw me and they looked at my legs and I just looked at them. I grabbed the food and I went, "I'm cured." And I shut the door. That's all. We're not fucking around anymore. We're demanding service at the Marriott Courtyard. We're demanding service. We're demanding the conviction of child rapists, and we're demanding service at the Marriott Courtyard. We're not going to fuck around. It's not a class issue. Stop with this. "Oh, people are good, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
It's not a class issue. It's an issue of service. It's an issue of pride. Take pride in your job.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pride in my job. I say great things about comedians all the time. You know?
Yeah, I went to a Marriott Courtyard on this road trip, and they didn't even have free coffee in the lobby. They like have a Starbucks, and you think it's free, but then it's just the Starbucks. They want you to pay
Starbucks has
for
invaded everything.
everything.
Everything was a Starbucks. There's ERs now with a Starbucks in them.
Yeah.
Go get a Frappuccino while you wait for surgery.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't need everything to be. This country's a big fucking Starbucks. Soon as Starbucks starts selling guns, there'll be no reason to go anywhere else in this country.
Yeah. The drive-thrus are everywhere too.
I can't wait for the Epstein trial when they start to shame the victims. You know that's coming.
Yeah.
You know, some defense attorney's going to be like, okay, I guess it's time to hear from these hoes. Maybe some of these hoes can get up on. You're gonna tell us some story. Be one of the girls.
Okay.
Hello. In your name. State your name for the record.
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Are you aware of the defendant? You know the defendant?
Yeah. Yes.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
You know Jeff?
Yeah. I do.
Can you point him out?
Right there.
Yeah.
Standing right there.
He gave you a ride on his plane?
He did.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yes.
Did you pay for that ride?
I did not.
So it was a free ride on his plane.
I guess.
You took a free ride on the plane, Jessica, huh?
Yeah.
Do you know how much fuel costs on a 737?
I do not.
You have no idea.
No.
So you just waltzed right on the plane. Did anybody force you to get on the plane?
I don't think so. No.
So you just got on the plane and you took a trip?
He said we were just taking a trip, vacation.
And you went to a private island?
Yes. Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You took a free trip to a private island. Okay. On my client's dime. And the only thing you had to do was suck Alan Dershowitz's old cock. Have you ever sat middle seat on a Spirit Airlines flight, Jess? Do you know how many cocks I'd put in my mouth to never do that? Did you have your own seat on the plane, Jessica? Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
You had your own seat. You had your own room on the plane, didn't you? You had a bed.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a bed.
I was tied up, but yeah.
Okay. Because of turbulence. Because of turbulence.
I didn't think of it that
And
way.
all you had to do was take a few loads from the leader of the free world, Rhodes Scholar. Do you know how good the economy was when President Clinton was in, Jessica? Do you have any idea?
I was very young. I don't.
Right. So the mastermind of one of the greatest boom times ever wanted to empty a few loads on your tummy in a private jet, and suddenly the world owes you something? Bitch, are you serious right now? Look at this jury of poor people. Are you serious? They've never been to an island. They went to Sandals once.
I like how Tiffany Haddish is the lawyer.
You know she will be in the movie.
Bitch.
Bitch. Yes. But you know that's going to go down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'll be like, reverse Kavanaugh.
These are all so fun, but none of them can ever go on social media. You got to listen to the podcast, folks. You got to listen, because we cannot take the chance of putting these things up, because they're coming for us. We are on a list. We've been shadow banned. Yeah. Somebody who follows me goes, I look you up, you're 6th. And I follow you, you come up like 6th. Shadow banned.
Wonder if...
Don't get nervous. I know you're an industry guy. Devin's got a lot of industry friends. Make him nervous. Oh, you sit next to Tim Dillon. He's going off.
Yeah,
are you ever uncomfortable on the show with what I say?
No, never. No, honestly. I've given up. I don't. That's the thing. I don't care at all.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. You don't want to be on a game show on True TV? That's not your goal?
I mean, I'm missing out on writing for a Snapchat comedy series that requires a password and a IP address to walk. But
me and Ben at a meeting today, we walk into guys like,
how'd that go?
He goes, we can't really put this on like NBC. I go, yeah. He goes, no. He goes, maybe Comedy Central and TBS. Talking about the desk videos. I'm like, yeah, I don't even think they're really. But who knows? Let it happen.
Unless they completely change the format of their channels and like what they believe in. I don't see it happening. I mean, what Frank TV to you behind a desk.
It's so funny how incredibly scared we are of speech and jokes and how we don't give a fuck about people's actions. We don't really care about people's actions.
No.
We don't give a shit about that. We care about what you say, you know?
There's videos on Instagram of people punching kids, I'm sure, and they have so many views that they're not going to take them off.
I mean, all those Instagram fitness people, like these hot dudes that I follow, I comment all the time. They're like, your face is so important. Always try to smile because that, you know, that shows the world how you feel inside. And I'll just comment like, what if a bear ate your face? How do I smile then? I was mauled by a bear. I don't have a face. I used to drink at a bar called The Helm. There was a guy, Lou. He had no nose. It was just a hole in the middle of his face. We called him Louie No Nose. And you know what? No matter how happy he was or how much he grinned, the world was very troubled by the way he presented. I think he sniffed so much cocaine he lost his nose. I don't know. Sometimes I just want to be that hot guy who just takes pictures on the beach in Malibu and just puts dumb quotes up, you know?
Live, love, laugh.
Yeah. You know, believe in yourself. Forget about the drama. You don't need the drama. Be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you that you're less than. No, let everyone tell you you're less than. You're less than. You are less than. There are people that are more than, and by definition, you're less. But that's the thing. You send all these people into the world thinking they're beautiful, thinking they're intelligent, and they're informed, and they're 450 pounds, and they go into the world, and they've learned everything off a Twitter thread, and they open their dumb mouth. I'm sitting at dinners with some people who open their mouth and they just start talking and they don't know what they're saying. And I'm like, shut up. Go back into a cave. Learn and then come out again. All these people hopping on the Epstein train. Where were you guys?
Right.
Where the fuck were you when I was talking about this? Mullen was talking about it. Luis Gomez, not really, but sometimes. You know, Louis thought Jeffrey was a dentist. He was trying to get free shit from it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What matters is we were there. All these people that are now jumping on the train, like they know what the fuck's going on.
Yep. Super convenient too now.
I can't wait till how we'll end this somehow and make Jeffrey Epstein a hero. I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll make him a hero.
Yeah. He looks like he could be good.
I want to hear from him. He hasn't spoken.
Yeah, I do want to hear him talk.
I want to hear from him.
Yeah.
I want to hear him. I want to hear what he's got to say.
Maybe he'll do like a Gayle King interview like R. Kelly did.
Yeah, and Gayle King just sits there.
She's always talking to rapists.
Yeah.
It's like her favorite thing to do.
Gayle
Every
King
morning.
loves it. Gayle King's trying to get raped. That's why. Gayle King's like, can you show me exactly how you did it?
Can somebody fuck me?
How would you hold them down? Why don't you just cut off my airflow? Can I ask you a question, Jeffrey?
Can you choke me?
Would you mind cutting off my airflow with your big bare hand? Just so I could experience what the girls experienced, and I will then make a decision if this is rape or not. Just put your hand on my neck. No, I see the film guys getting nervous. No. He's going to choke me. He's going to choke me now. What names are going to come up? What would shock you? You know, Woody Allen's going to probably come up.
Maybe. I feel like he's more of a lone. Like he did that on his own. He's like,
well, he was friends with Epstein. They lived.
Oh,
around
he
the
was.
block. Oh, yeah, they lived around the block from each other.
I want to know if it's really the Chris Tucker because Mullen was
No.
saying it's not. It's
It's
really
another
not?
Chris Tucker.
That's actually I like that. I don't want Chris Tucker.
I
to
don't
be
want
bad.
Chris Tucker involved.
Yeah. That
You
was-
know, I want people I hate implicated. I have a whole list of people
Yeah.
that I want implicated.
Can you say who they are?
No, well, maybe. But there's a whole list of people that I don't feel like have done me right that I want implicated. I want them to have to explain why they were at the island. Got to explain it. Some people are going to have to explain that. It's going to be hilarious. People are going to be like, you know, I knew Jeffrey, but I didn't really know him. And he's like, hey, I got an island. I like the water. So I was like, I want to take a vacation. There was a lot of kids around, and I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't know what was going on. Then there was this weird temple where the kids would massage us all, but I thought it was for UNICEF. Like, I thought this was some type of fundraiser. I thought it was like for the Red Cross. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we'd hunt these children. We would get in groups of 3, and we'd put numbers on the children and then hunt them. And this was all part of the Boys and Girls Club. That's what they said. We sponsor children. So we have to, in order to see which child we sponsor, we had to hunt them and then shoot them with a dart gun. That is what it was. It was for the Boys and Girls Club. A lot of people are like, oh, you're making fun of this. Yep, we're making fun of it because we're living in hell. We're making fun of hell. And all of these people should go to jail and be killed.
Yeah.
Don't fucking email me and tweet at me and be like, you're making light of it. Put them in jail. Put Bill Clinton in jail. You know?
Yep.
These people are, if they're doing, and we know they are doing that, there's zero fucking chance that Bill Clinton was not fucking underage chicks on that plane. There's no chance. Nobody believes that, not even Hillary. You know, they were both tweeting about soccer the other day.
Oh.
How proud they were of the soccer team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
That's what you were focused on? Soccer. You know, Hillary was like, I mean, the people close to them, that's a dark job. Their handlers, their assistants.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's blood in the water. They fucking know, man. And they got to come out with these dumb fucking statements. Bill was never on the island. These people got it, and they sleep very well. They all sleep great. And they're aiding and abetting some of the worst crimes, unimaginable crimes. And because these are crime families. The Clintons, the Bushes, they are crime family. And the Trumps, to a degree, are this is criminal activity. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Donald Trump was involved in or what he wasn't involved in, but I do know a lot of the shit he's done with his real estate connections. He's been involved with very shady characters. You know, these are people that get to where they get because they commit crimes and they get away with it. And I know that's hard for people to believe because in their head, they believe that these people are talented. Bill Clinton's a brilliant politician, you know? Mm-hmm. Trump's talented. They have talents, but they're also criminals. And many of them are child rapists and murderers. So, you know, you can be a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be any one thing. But people got to open their mind a little bit. Do you think, like, this opens up a conversation about who these people are? Because that is what I'd really like to see happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will.
No, I don't think it will. I think we'll move past it.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know. I feel like it's too heavy. It's like too much.
It's too much, dude.
Do you think there will be any kids that, like, we find out, like, 10, 11, like, kids?
Yeah.
Not even, like, 6.
It's going to be bad.
When that comes out, that's going to get fucking really, really scary. If you're just not.
So you're okay with the 13. Fair enough.
No,
Good
yeah,
point.
totally.
It's fair. When Russ Baker wrote that book, Family of Secrets, and I read it, and he described the process of writing it, and he said to me, and Ray Kump, the great Ray Kump, he said, when I started to really understand who these people are and how they operated, the book and the process of writing it had the profundity of theology, meaning it was so profound, it was a religious experience. I started to understand things that that never made any sense to me, that started to make sense. All of these questions that I had about why things operated a certain way, they started to become more clear as I understood who these people were, and also as I understood all the influences and the pressures that were exerted on them, how some of them had been blackmailed, some of them owed their political career to, a certain billionaire, a certain power broker, that these people had been party to criminal acts that were then covered up. And the people that facilitated that cover up were able to use that and leverage power and pull strings. And he goes, once you start seeing how all of that happens, it's clear to you that dumb, remember School of Rock? It's like how a bill becomes a law. Mm-hmm. I'm just a bill sitting here on Capitol Hill. And you read that. I mean, you watch that and you're like, oh, that's what happens. The House legislation originates there. It goes to the Senate. Mm-hmm. Then it goes to the president. That's not really it. That's a very positive way of looking at how things get done. You know, have you seen that? I'm just a bill.
Yeah, back in the day.
Everybody has seen that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it is.
No.
It's not what it is. It's like, I'm just a bill. I was sponsored by a senator. He fucked a kid in a hotel in Washington. There was a camera there, and someone sent that photo to him, and now he said, we need a war. We're going to have a war. And they said, you're going to have 3 more wars. He said, okay, don't tell them I fucked the kid, and I'm just a bill. I was written with blood. I'm just a bill. I was written with blood. I go to the House, then the Senate floor. There were cameras at that party. They saw you fuck that whore. And I'm just a bill. And it's like, that's what it really is. We killed a Kennedy. We put Michael Hastings went to a tree. I'm just a bill. Don't look at me. I'm just a bill. We had a debate. It was about rape.
That's the chopped and screwed version.
It's the chopped and screwed version. You know?
That's great.
That's what it really is.
Yeah.
It's not the fucking people having, well, I think. You know who I really want to be on this plane? Ocasio-Cortez. I want Ocasio-Cortez to come out and go, yeah, I fucked those old white bitches. I fucked them and I don't feel bad about it. I fucked them and I stole their wallets. And I took that cash and I gave it to the poor of the Bronx. I want to have a moment with her, like how she does those 3 to 5 minute clips.
Yeah.
Where she just gets out and all the, the phones are on her and she's like, we're about to go viral, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I fucked Epstein. They said he has a weird little dick, like an egg-shaped penis, a tiny egg-shaped penis.
Oh.
And I want her to be like, I put that old egg in my fucking mouth. I knew exactly what I was doing. That billionaire fuck. I went in there. I fucked them all. Alan Dershowitz ate my ass. And as he was eating my ass, you know what I was doing? I was reading Marx and getting ready for the war. I used my sexuality as a weapon against those old fucks. I infiltrated that island.
That would be great.
It would be great. It would be powerful.
Did you see that video of her being confused about what a garbage disposal is? She was pretending she didn't know what a garbage disposal is.
No, but I mean, she's, she's somebody who I thought was going to be president. Now the more and more I see her, I'm like, you are good.
Yeah, she needs to stop talking as much.
She might be on a reality show in a few years, but that might be the president. That is the presidency.
Right.
There's going to be one girl that comes out and is pro Epstein, like one of the kids that he fucked.
Yeah.
Is going to come out.
Who has Stockholm syndrome. And
one girl's going to come out and be like, they were nice to us. There was always breakfasts. You bitches are crazy. Jeff, on the other side of this, remember me. I'm not selling you out like the rest of these stank ass hoes. I'm with you, Jeff. Does he have kids? Does Epstein have kids? It's got to be a fun date, huh? Well, my dad's actually in the news right now. Daddy. Bill was not on the island. Bill barely knows Jeff. He was on his plane 4 times. He had a small meeting in Harlem, 2002. What was that meeting about? Farm subsidies? Is that what they were discussing in Clinton's office in Harlem? Was that what it was? Talking about trade? I wonder if Epstein has kids.
Well, he has kids in another way. He has another type of kids.
It's a bad Google search right now. Jeffrey Epstein.
Pretty
kids.
Confusing Google
we
search.
We don't need to get shut down here. Apple Podcast pulls us off. What are you doing? That'll happen. In 20 years, you'll have a pro-pedophile podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pro-pedophile podcast. Oh, it's coming. Okay.
Hmm.
Good. Folks, when I was a child, I was rightly told I had a lot of promise. I was told I was very bright. I was told that I was going to be lucky and that my luck was going to be earned and that I was going to be special. I was going to be different. I stood apart from the pack. Many of you were not told that. And that's because that is not the case for many of you. Many of you are not special. You're not different. You don't matter. Many of you. And I don't mean you don't matter in a grand historic sense. Of course you don't. I mean even in the day-to-day horrible life you have of your meaningless interactions, your stupid job. I mean, most of you out there, what are you really doing? Nothing. You're sucking up air. You're using resources that other people, like myself, like Cardi B, like Donald Trump, could be using to further our agendas because we are special. Yes, I am sorry. I am sorry. People like myself, Cardi B, who I believe her real name is Bertkreischer, and Donald Trump are special people. What do we share, me, Cardi B, and Donald Trump? What do we share? We're all magnetic. We're all funny, effortlessly. We all have a certain sex appeal. We've all maybe drugged people and taken things from them. Things they didn't need, okay? They don't need it. Here's another thing that unites me, Cardi B, and Donald Trump. We're all New Yorkers. Fuck yeah. Okay? We're better than you, bitch. Yeah, that's right. And we all have fucking websites. We've got websites. People can look us up. They can see our shit. We got schedules. We got content. We got links. We got text, video, pictures. Okay? You want a website? You want to be like us? You want to be like Donald Trump, Cardi B, or Tim Dillon? Two people who got their start from a reality show. One person got his start from the world of stand-up comedy. Go to Wix, okay? We built a great site, timdillonsgoingtohell.com, using Wix. There is no is, it's just timdillonsgoingtohell.com. It was incredibly easy to do. If you have a business or content you want to promote, you're missing out on potential clients and customers if people can only contact you via social media. You think that it's all on the gram. It's all on TikTok. Wake the fuck up. Okay? What are you selling your product to 15-year-olds? What are you doing? There's adults out there that want to read some goddamn testimonials about the shit you're peddling. You're a fucking hairstylist? People want to know. They want to see photos of things you've done before they go and plunk down money at your fucking salon. You're a wedding photographer? Maybe you're a DJ. They want to hear that Brenda from Bayshore, Long Island thought you were great. She was a little skeptical up front because you looked Filipino and she didn't really understand if those people knew about music. But he won me over. That's what Brenda's testimonial would say. I was nervous up front because Dan looked like a Pacific Islander. However, I realized that he was really great and he was a great wedding DJ. Now, my marriage is over, but that has nothing to do with Dan. My husband turned out to be a little abusive. I should have maybe seen that coming. I did not. We have a divorce that's been playing out in the courts right now. It's unique in the sense that neither of us want the children. We're dividing up a collection of Beanie Babies right now that we inherited from Dan's mother. And we're living in his mother's basement in Bayshore, New York. where we eat bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches and watch Fox News every day and get ready for the Great War, where Donald Trump will lead us into battle. It's the one thing we still agree on is that we love Trump. We would have got divorced years ago, except that we have that. We still have that. You need a testimonial on the website, no matter what you do. You might be a child acting coach, and you need somebody to go, he never fucked my kid. This guy did not come over and do creepy shit. He just taught this person how to act. He didn't come over and do weird shit, start doing weird breathing exercises on the floor. We were waiting for that, but he was pretty on the level. You know? We appreciate that. Did not fuck the kid. Now, my kid has also not gotten any work. I don't know if that's related, but I hope that all evens out eventually. But these are testimonies. These are what boomers want to read before they sign on for your services. Okay? My daughter got her hair done with Jackie DiGiglio at Mirage Salon in Massapequa before the prom. My daughter was so happy with the highlights that Jackie put in that made my little girl look like a real Long Island woman. She went to that prom. She danced around, putting her pussy in everybody's face. And we were proud as a family. We were really proud of her. She was very happy. And now she wants to be a stylist at that same salon. So she's smartly not going to college. And she's going to go sweep up hair in Massapequa and watch Jackie make other girls beautiful. These are the types of things you need on the website. So go to Wix. They have a drag and drop design system if you don't want to design your own website. Jackie DiGiglio did not design her own website. She used Wix ADI, Artificial Design Intelligence. She was drunk. She tried to figure out the website. She just started screaming the N-word and punching her Mac. That's not the move. Finally, somebody said, Jackie, just use the ADI. And she did. And now she's getting a lot more people coming into her salon. Over 150 million people have built their website using Wix. Who cares? Is that even a lot of people? I don't know. These are these dumb things we're supposed to read. 150 million people. Does that matter? timdillonsgoingtohell.com. Click the link at the bottom to get 10% off any Wix premium plan, okay? Don't be one of these people that doesn't have a website. Be like me. Be like Donald Trump. Be like Cardi B. We are better than you, fuckhead. Because we have websites. And because we were chosen by Christ to lead humanity to the next level. Cardi B, Tim Dillon, Donald Trump. No one else. Goodbye. How long have we done? 48.
Yeah, it would be great if we found out some like people we were just completely shocked by were on that plane. You know,
I don't want to talk about this anymore, like the fucking of the kids, but we can't stop. I've tried to stop for 2 years. It's every news story.
It's just so exciting that this is happening.
But every news story is this.
Yeah.
And then you get mad at some of the conspiracy people because you're like, everything's not, everyone's a pedophile. And then you turn on the news and you're like, well, I guess actually, maybe you guys are right.
Who's that?
It's just a random voice. But I wonder, thank God we have comedy. Comedy will save us, don't you think? Yeah. Don't you think stand-up comedy will save us? Don't you think all we really need to undo the power of the pedocracy is a good old bit?
Mm-hmm.
Just the perfect bit.
Yeah.
I remember these idiots when the whole Louis first thing happened, like the real comedy loyalists were like, he's going to come up with the perfect bit and it'll make it all okay. And I'm like, guys, why don't you sober up? why don't you sit the fuck down and get some sleep? Okay? Take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll have some great bits. It won't be the perfect bit that makes everything okay. If it is, I'll be amazed, and God love him.
Yeah. But yeah, a bit could save the world, you know?
What do you do if you're Epstein? What's your move?
Take a plea deal that gets me like 9 months or something. and then
No,
just
they're
go
going to.
back.
I think he's
back to
facing
it.
45 years.
Oh. He can't run, right? Because then he can't get any. Doesn't have his.
They'll
lifestyle
kill
anymore.
him. They'll kill him.
Yeah.
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 They're trying to kill him already. Hillary Clinton's in Palm Beach with a crossbow. You know, she's paying off some prison guard in New York where he is right now to go shank him. You fucking nuts? They don't want their legacy to be ruined. Bill's like, I'm just a regular rapist. Okay? I've just been credibly accused of rape by of-age people. Can that be my legacy?
Yeah.
Can my legacy be locking up black people for no reason and rape of appropriately aged women? Thank you. Is that too much to ask? Nobody wants that legacy.
No.
You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, they'll play the most dangerous
Your mom
game
must
with
be going
Epstein.
crazy. Bev must be fucking.
She's in Hawaii right now, but I'm sure she's not even having fun anymore. She's just on the computer, just going off about it.
I looked over the mom. She's fucking plugged in.
Very plugged in.
She's plugged the fuck in.
9/11's an inside job. Sandy Hook didn't happen. She knows all the family's names. She'll talk about other actors. It's insane. It's beautiful.
Do we do a live podcast
With
listen to me, from Jeffrey Epstein's, like, New York City townhouse, like outside of it? Do a fly us all to New York, and we just sit outside of Jeffrey Epstein's townhouse?
yeah, why not? Will we get removed?
Probably. You know?
Yeah.
I wanted to do one at Camp Hero in Montauk by the Stranger Things. But also, fuck Stranger Things. I've had enough of that.
Yeah. I'm tired
Hey,
of it.
enough of that.
They're like older now.
Hey, enough. Enough.
Yeah.
No one cares. Stop with this nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
You're all on some odd nostalgia high
Yep.
for the 80s.
Steven Spielberg shit.
You know what the 80s was? AIDS and crack for a lot of people. I know you lily white bitches think the 80s was all about malls and carnivals. But for a lot of people, the AIDS was about watching your friend waste away because he had a disease the government wouldn't say is true, or watching mom light a rock in your living room because the CIA was selling it to her. I want to see that Stranger Things episode. Where's the Stranger Things episode where Winona Ryder's smoking crack and she doesn't give a shit about the Demogorgon anymore?
Yeah.
She doesn't care about the alien. She's like, will you kids shut the fuck up about this alien? And she just smacks them right across the face, and she just lights a rock. Where's that episode? Where's the savings and loan scandal where they all lose their fucking houses? And Winona Ryder is fucking smoking crack in a car that they're all living in. Hopper.
Yeah.
Hopper has AIDS because he's sucking cock and not telling anyone about it. He's a leather daddy. He's doing intravenous drugs. Let's get nostalgic for real shit, okay? It's not all hanging out in the mall and fighting some alien,
Yeah.
okay? You fucking clowns. Make a real show.
About crack and AIDS.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
Make a show about coke.
Put some fun music behind it.
People were doing blow.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder would have been sniffing her fucking face off in that kitchen. Numb mouth, barely speak, saying to the kids, like, Mom, what happened to my piggy bank? Shut up. I'm going out. Mom's going out.
She joins the Dallas Buyers Club.
Finn Wolford, that character, turns around to the other kid. He's like, Mom's smoking it now. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. She doesn't have any money anymore, so she's smoking it. That should be the alien. Winona Ryder, by the way, before she got Stranger Things, was shoplifting.
Right.
She was stealing shit from
clothes.
fucking Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, I don't like that show.
I mean, listen, it's one of those things where it should have been a movie, 90-minute movie. I enjoyed it when it first came on.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need 9 seasons of everything. We don't need to see these kids grow up to be in their 30s. No one gives a shit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're still fighting the same alien? Enough already. The Upside Down. What is the Upside Down, you know?
I don't even. I watched the first season. That was it. Like the wall was like the monster or something. Like, right?
It's based on the Montauk Project. It's based on something that actually happened. And I get it. But again, we don't,
Pear.
Base it on. By the way, Marlboro Lights sponsored the show. Marlboro Lights, they're not just for substitute teachers who want to die. You ever see your sub smoking? I used to do coke with my sub. My sub was a real Italian, real Dago wop bitch. And she used to come over to the coke house and get a couple of bags. Her and her husband used to probably load up and fuck each other like animals. Then she'd come in the next day with 15 circles under her eyes, look like a raccoon, drinking coffee. She'd put on a video and go sit in the back. She was still coming down. She was a good woman. I miss her. I miss those people. They're good people. We're going to wrap it up here, folks. We've taken down enough sacred cows. It's a good show. People are really enjoying this. They're enjoying it because we're careful.
Pick our words wisely.
I think that's what this society is full of. Too many fat people running their mouth. This show is about people that are careful and cautious and that believe in this country. This is a great land. This is a great country that we live in, and everything that we've gotten, we've all earned, and it's all been honest. That's why people like the show. They like the show because finally somebody who's proud to live in a country run by satanic pedophiles, black magic wizards, corrupt plutocrats, oligarchs, literal demons. They're proud. We're proud. We're not gonna apologize for who we are. No. We just celebrated the 4th of July. 4th of July. And then a few days later, our ex-president told us that he wasn't on the pedophile island. Happy 4th of July. Isn't that nice, everyone? Oh, say, can you see? I was only on the plane 4 times. I never went to the island. We had a quick meeting in Harlem. And the crimes that he did, all the fucking of kids, was not involved with my Clinton Foundation work. Oh, say I am innocent of the Twitter mob. I only raped Juanita Broderick. And she enjoyed it. No matter what she said. And then the F-15s just fly over.
The Super Bowl starts.
The Super Bowl starts. timdilloncomedy.com, folks. I will be coming to Hilarities in Cleveland July 19th and 20th. August 1st through the 3rd, American Comedy Co. in San Diego. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I'm down at Zany's in Nashville, Comedy Zone in Charlotte. I'm at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama, Stardome in Hoover, Alabama. I'm at Good Nights Comedy Club in late August in North Carolina. Tim J. Dillon, Dillon on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me. They're shadow banning us. We got to get ahead of us. We're independent now on the podcast. The Patreon is coming. The Patreon will have all the archives. 2.5 years of Tim Dillon's Going to Hell. Every interview that we did, all the conspiracy stuff. Russ Baker, Nick Bryant, Who Took Johnny, Mark Galliotti talking about Russia, all this great shit. Really interesting stuff. Deep dives on all of those fucking things. We're going to go to twice a week. You know, when we launch the Patreon, you'll get an episode a week on the first tier. On the second tier, you'll get all those archives and an episode a week. The third tier will be crazy. You're going to get longer videos of the desk, things that we do. You'll get an email to correspond with the show. You can suggest topics and rants and whatever. You know, maybe you'll come on for some interviews. We're open to that too. We're really moving ahead. It's really going to be fun. It's really going to be crazy and wild. We're really off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
We're off the chain. So keep listening. Keep telling your friends about the show. You know, like-minded people. It's not going to be for everyone. This will not be for everyone.
Yeah, no. But there's enough maniacs out there.
I hope. Devin Costa, what do you think?
What?
What do you tell people to find you?
YouTube.com/Devin Costa, DEVAN.
People say that you're very small. You look like a child. I look like an ogre.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a screenshot of that YouTube comment.
I know. I look like I ride you around town.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, then I have a podcast on iTunes, Hate That You Love It with Devin Costa. Just type in my name and give it a like or
follow.
rate.
Where's your social media?
Twitter, same, Devin Costa, DEVAN.
Very good.
Twitter's dying, though, so.
Is it?
I don't know. I mean,
Everyone's
I suck
saying
at it. So I say
Feels
it's
like
dying.
it's happening. What do I know? Yeah, there's some crazy shit in this podcast.
But compared to all the other ones, really?
Right. Well, compared to the actual horrible acts that our leaders...
Also compared to the rape.
It's actually fine.
Yes.
The jokes are fine. Go check out the thing. If you haven't already, me and Nick Mullen did a fun little half-hour podcast about Epstein. Check that out.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was a lot of fun. Nick knows all about this shit. Very interesting. We're going to have him out on more when he's in LA. Got a lot of big guests coming up, too. Very fun stuff. Good night, everybody.
You want a loyal mercenary fan base. You want like a pest army, if you will. You want somebody you can people who will be like in for the 10-year run. You don't want people like, you're going to get me a ticket? Fuck that. They do it just to fucking talk to you.
I want the FBI to know who we are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's below, like, what are the Proud Boys? Are they terrorists? Are they considered a terrorist organization?
I think they knocked them back down.
Whatever below that is.
Yeah, just right below that.
Yeah, you want to be on the board going, who are these guys?
We want to be on a cork board somewhere in Jersey and having some low-level FBI agent go, let's keep tabs on them.
Right.
The YouTube views are growing. No, but my whole thing was, listen, send in the shit. If you like it, we'll give you some money. We'll give you a few $100, $500, whatever, if we use it.
Right.
And then some lunatic guy starts messaging me, goes, I've been ripped off by many podcasts. Kumi has made thousands of dollars selling my shirts. I'm like, dude.
Stop giving them shirts.
If you've been ripped off by even one podcast, it's probably your fault, but let alone multiple ones. So I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take the art. This art was for the Apple podcast shit, for the thumbnail, whatever it is. It was not to put on shirts and sell and never compensate the artist. But again, of course, we have to.
If it's your your brand, your little icon, I mean, that's worth a few bits.
Yeah, you get a few bucks. Yeah. I would absolutely pay for that. But the shirts I'm going to sell will have quotes.
Oh, right.
That's the things I've said, more so than like the, whatever.
I tried to sell.
Ray Kump is with us, by the way.
Hello.
I didn't introduce you.
Glad to be back.
Ray
they
Kump.
know who I am. The new people.
The new people. We've gone up, so a lot of people don't know who you are.
Right. Should I say hello to Mr. Never mind.
To who? Who are you going to say hello to?
Your friend.
Who's my friend?
Mr.
Rogan? You think that's how you're going to get on the show?
I don't. Well, what am I going to do in the show? Talk about how I used to fucking.
So you don't want to get on the show?
I mean, I'll come on.
because you're very hostile for a minute. You're like, what am I going to do on the show?
No, but you're acting. You're acting.
What am I going to do?
I'm acknowledging that you're hanging out with a better class of people.
Listen to me. What am I going to go fly to California, wasting my goddamn time sitting on that fucking show? It's ridiculous.
If Rogan wants to ask me about how he used to take people's skin and put it on my hands to fingerprint the morgue, I used to have to put their skin on my hand. Like, he loved that shit.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if somehow you had the most controversial Rogan, like it wasn't Alex Jones?
Right.
Like YouTube throws him off, just gets rid of millions in ad rev because of you, because you're describing some crime you committed at the morgue.
It wasn't a crime. This was a procedure. This was the method I used.
Yeah.
Look, we were respectful to these bodies. We didn't fuck these bodies.
Most people, that sounded like something that Robert Mueller would say. Most people don't know this, but Ray, who did the show for 2.5 years with me, was a photographer at a Long Island morgue.
Right.
And then moved into other activities at your job. The scope of your job was enlarged.
Well, look, that first of all, that was part of my job.
Taking the photos.
The skin thing on the hand. Because I also had to take fingerprints. That was my job. But yes, sometimes I would clean the bodies, move the bodies on and off the x-ray table. One time they let me cut open a rib cage with a bolt cutter.
This is just fascinating.
I would milk the intestines into a cup.
Why would you milk the intestines?
Have you ever milked intestines?
No.
See?
I'm not against it.
I'm all for trying new experiences. I've never, left the country. I didn't go into an airplane until I was 34.
Right.
But, I did milk an intestine into a deli cup.
You did cut open a rib cage with bolt cutters.
Exactly.
Which was not technically what you were not hired to do that.
Right. No, look, if LeBron James is playing basketball, he's a power forward. He can't get a rebound.
That I don't know if that is a fitting analogy.
Maybe not.
That is really not the most fitting analogy.
No, I play all positions. Is my point.
But and I appreciate that. I would love for you to go on Joe's show and then discuss your career.
Sure.
At the morgue, which has ended tragically.
Also the mosquito lab, but
and then they moved to the mosquito lab. Yeah, interesting.
But that point,
when you talk about the dark side of Long Island,
right?
Which for us is the really only side. I mean, there's other sides to other, the seafood's good, but the rest of it, you've as somebody that worked at the morgue, you just saw.
Oh yeah,
the MS-13 body machetes, the machetes in the bodies, the drunks, the heroin ODs,
dead kid, and the guy fucked to death with a tree branch in the ass.
Right.
The
dead babies,
dead baby in the freezer in the garbage bag on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, dead baby in the freezer in a garbage bag on Christmas Eve.
He was frozen solid. We couldn't cut. They couldn't cut him open until Christmas.
Yeah,
overnight, let him thaw out.
And you had to cut him open on Christmas.
I didn't do that one. That was
a real Johnny Cash song.
They wouldn't let me, do extra stuff.
You really had to thaw baby out overnight on Christmas?
Yeah,
really.
I mean, I wasn't there with one of those fucking heat lamps, but we left him in an area that wasn't refrigerated. And the next day, I was working Christmas that year. So what am I going to tell you? So we come in and on Christmas Day, we fucking had to cut open the kid.
So this is Christmas. Wow. Well, this is why me and Ray initially became friends, because I found these stories fascinating. The comedy industry did not.
No.
Networks did not. Like as my stories, they did not really.
They like the bagel guy.
They love, well,
I've seen you do a lot worse than the bagel guy, but
I thought he was tame.
Yeah.
I thought that bagel guy was pretty tame.
He didn't threaten anyone's life.
Dude, I told the story last week on this show. I was in a Taco Bell, a morbidly obese woman with purple hair was screaming at the cashier going, I'm a vegan. I just ate sour cream. Don't you think that's a fucking problem? I asked if there was no sour cream in this, and I just ate sour cream. She goes, I've been a vegan for almost a year. And the lady can barely understand English, the cashier. And then
her kid's in a cage somewhere.
This fat lady with the purple hair looks at me. She goes, they don't care. This restaurant doesn't care. And I said, here's the thing people don't realize about Long Island. Point the camera in any direction, you get bagel guy. And more.
Well, I've been in situations where, because old women will be as abusive as that guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember what, 10 years ago, probably, I was in a post office, I think in Hicksville, and this old woman was berating the fucking guy behind the counter because he didn't have her package, and she's being awful. So I took it upon myself. So shut up, you cunt! You get cancer! Get cancer! Like I started screaming. So you have situations where like you have people outdoing each other in public spaces, like trying to one up. Like the bagel guy, like should have had a counterpart. I mean, the guy beat him up, so I guess that counts. But usually it doesn't get physical.
I wish that had been a fat woman.
Yeah.
Like a fat female bus driver.
Against me?
No, against Bagel Guy.
Right, yeah.
Just went in there and laid him out. But I was in Long Island today. I went with Schendlinger. I go to his beach club. I go to the beach clubs once a year here to remember the days when I was a king.
Right.
When I was an overweight, chain smoking, pool lifeguard at a beach club in Long Island, eating food. Like people,
did people there recognize you from your lifeguard days? Like
not really. No, you got because he's a member of a different beach club.
Oh, okay.
They barely recognized me when I shot my fucking pilot. The Comedy Central probably won't pick up at the same beach club.
Oh, that was your beach club?
That was my beach club that we shot the pilot.
And they did recognize you?
A few people.
Okay.
But the majority of them are gone. People move, the kids get older.
You've
whatever.
also put on a few pounds.
I've put on a few pounds.
Your skin doesn't look quite the same.
No, I mean, sadly, it doesn't look that different.
Oh, you had bad skin back then?
No, but I mean, it wasn't great.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're at the beach club, and for people that haven't been to a beach club, you pay money, you get this little cabana. It's like $8,000 for the year,
right? And
you get access to a pool, which is whatever, and a private beach, and you can go in the water and whatever. One of the lifeguards jumped down, was like, "I'm a fan." And I was like, "Thanks a lot, man." Whatever. And then, so I was really happy. It was a fun day. We were only there for a few hours, I'm gawking at some 18-year-old kid. Scott's like, "This is embarrassing." He's like, "You're being very obvious." I was like, "Well, this is why they work out. Is it not why they work out?"
Right.
Right. So you can't control. If you want to be hot.
Right.
Here's the thing, folks.
Well, was your hand in your pants?
I was in the pool. So here's the thing, folks.
Yeah, but you could still see the forearms kind of floating towards your fat gut. And it's like, yeah, he seems like he might be touching himself. They know.
I was adjusting my gut. Sure. Getting ready. I was getting ready to go for it. But I didn't. And here's the thing. I know this may be unpopular in a Me Too world.
Right.
But if you lead with hot, if you're fucking hot, and this kid was in his college, whatever.
Sure.
But like, you can't control. Yeah, a lot of hot girls will like you. But guess who's also going to be attracted to you?
Oh, yeah.
Me.
No, sure.
Sorry.
I also, like, why don't fat women swoon over men like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, because would you say that most gay guys who have a similar demeanor to you are as open about, not that you're like a predator.
I'm not a predator, but I can go undercover and pretend to be straight.
You could, yeah.
And be like, "Hey, let's be bros. Let's hang out."
Oh, this sounds menacing.
Well, let's be friends.
Right.
Let's start an organic friendship because you're a young man. I'm an older man, and I know a little bit about the world. Not a lot. I mean, I don't have credit, but
he has better credit than you do.
I don't have a lot to share. But that's the thing. It's like this kid gave me kind of a weird look because I was staring at him. It's like, dude, don't you get that's what this is?
Did you have sunglasses on? Were you being kind of looking at the sun? No, so you were just without no glasses on, nothing. You weren't even playing it cool. You were just gawking at a guy. Yeah, I mean, no one
staring right at his kidney.
Ooh. Like, also, wait, from the back?
No, is a kidney in the back? I thought it was in the front.
Right here.
Then he turned around. I was looking at his kid, but I mean, I was staring at him.
Oh, you staring where his dick V would be.
He was an attractive gentleman. He was a lifeguard, and I was looking at him. And I know
I don't do that with women. I don't just
can you
stare
stop?
I don't want to mean in some kind of progressive. Yeah, I'm trying to white knight my way into a fucking TV show. I'm saying.
Well, that's by the way. If you white knight your way into a TV show, I will be nothing but impressed.
Rape is just a disgusting thing. I have a new show about my psoriasis.
Listen, this fall, Tuesdays at 10, I've white knighted myself into this. It is a safe space. Have you ever caught yourself looking at a lovely lady.
Of course, but you like you treat it like the sun. You don't just like stare at it for fucking like minutes on end.
I was too much looking.
Yeah.
Too much looking.
Right.
And I realized that.
Yeah.
I realized that. But this is the way it is. So if you're a hot guy out there,
you deserve it.
all these hot guys think, oh, women get gawked at all the fucking time. Oh,
Right.
you can't get gawked at?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can't grab your dick.
That's the thing. Maybe you're balancing the scales.
I am.
You're doing more than any of these Me Too people.
I like the way you're going.
Yeah.
I like the turn this made.
Turn around is fair game.
I like this turn.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing my part because I think men need to know what it feels like to be ogled
Right.
by an ogre.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be ogling otherwise. It would just
because all these
be
jokes,
mutually attractive people
all
who
these
might fuck.
jokes that these fucking young kids do, they get on stage like, when gay guys hit on you, it's cool, and you're always like, no matter what, you're always like, I hope the guy likes me. Like, it's all these, it's this breed of humor now where a good-looking guy will get up on stage and talk about how gay guys are very direct, but women
Right.
are not. And it's a lot of people have this similar type of joke.
Gay guys are direct. That's not. Is that you don't think that's true, do you?
Well, yeah,
maybe sexually direct.
Well, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Like if you're in a bar and a gay guy wants to fuck you, they'll go up to you and be like, "Hey, buddy."
Right.
Whereas a woman, it's a more of a dance.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of comedy, but it always assumes usually that the gay guy is a certain type of gay guy or whatever. Right. Maybe has a little money and shape guy. What about me?
You got a little peg leg.
What about me?
You got fucking You got some bean burrito stain on your fucking
Yeah, if
pants.
I go up to you and I'm like, "Hey, boys."
You smell like nachos and halitosis.
What is halitosis?
Your breath, your shitty breath.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's like a habitual bad breath.
Yeah, interesting. I think I'm
just saying you're not perfumed. You're not a perfumed homosexual man.
Right. Well, I'm not. I'm not a perfect person.
You don't smell like fucking dog.
No, I smell good. But I think people should. I think. Well, number one, traditional masculinity is under attack.
Sure.
Under attack in this country.
I mean, look.
Which is why a man like yourself or a man like myself is not respected, but these Zac Efron bitches are. These pretty boys.
I feel like
in the 1970s, Brian Dennehy was a man that got pussies wet.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean?
Was Brian Dennehy a sex symbol?
I believe to an extent.
I mean, okay.
In my conception of history, he was, because I was around Irish women.
Yeah. Okay. When did he start? Was he an actor before he was 50?
I don't know.
Okay. But is he dead now?
I don't know.
Anyway, no. Look, I feel like I'm actually in the golden age for Ray Kump.
Yeah,
because it's like I'm not some kind of alpha Italian. Like,
hold on, I got a non-dairy Haagen-Dazs chocolate. I just got to put it in the freezer. Keep going.
Okay. I'm not one of these guys who's like, Italian. I'm not just disparaging the Italians, but they're more outgoing with their, their masculinity and their fucking, they put on the fucking brute or whatever Italian guys wears cologne and they go out to the club. I'm not that kind of masculine. I'm just kind of dirty and I wear the same shirt every day and I have psoriasis on my leg. And people, at least in Brooklyn, are so now unused to seeing anyone who isn't kind of, I don't know what you call it, not traditionally mad, that like they kind of seem to gravitate towards me. That I feel like there's a certain credence they give me that maybe I don't even have to demonstrate my bona fides.
Well, yeah, you are a hearkening of the apocalypse,
but they find it refreshing, is my point,
and as they should.
Yeah,
people that are still trying to I've said this many times. When I meet somebody and they are optimistic about the future,
right?
I think they're mentally ill.
Doesn't make any sense.
They're mentally. I'm like, I don't know what set of statistics, beliefs. I mean, I'm lost, and that doesn't mean that you have to be a Debbie Downer. I'm a happy guy. You're a happy guy.
I'm enjoying.
We're having fun.
I'm making synthesizer music now.
You're doing electronic music.
Yeah,
it's no one asked for that, and you've put it out right into the world.
Right.
But to me, some of our cynicism is reflected in the way that we present.
Sure. I mean, look, no one is like inviting us into like the fucking the 8-way fuck thing going on in the Hamptons. You know,
no,
we have to work our way to sex. We have to,
you have to earn it.
Have a personality. And
you got to earn it.
I'm not just. If I take my pants down, it's hairy and it's fucking. There's no dick fee. I got fucking. But I can fuck. Yeah, I know how to fuck.
Right,
I got a decent dick.
I feel like you've given this speech to a judge.
Listen, I'm going to be very honest. I can fuck. I got a decent dick. I don't got a dick for you. I got a dick.
So we leave the beach club. We go to a restaurant. We go to a steakhouse. One of my favorite steakhouses, probably my favorite steakhouse on Long Island, Jimmy Hayes.
Oh, it's great. We went there once, yeah.
In Island Park, and we go there, and everything about Jimmy Hayes is great. It just feels racist, you know, like, and that's what a steakhouse should feel like. So don't fucking start with me. The pictures,
well, it also sounds racist.
right. Only if you listen to the conversations. The pictures are on the wall are all golfers. They got great food.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. We have a great dinner, and Scott's got 2 little kids there, and they're like 3 or whatever. And they're holding it together for most of the meal. And then around dessert, they start to scream, and I'm like, let's get out of here. We can't have dessert. Now, Scott's, of course, upset because he wants every free thing he can get.
Right.
He wants every course.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think they're that bad. I'm like, people spend a lot of money here to not hear kids screaming. Let's fucking get out of here. We'll get them an Italian ice or whatever, right? So then Scott does this, which is like, there's 3, we get a Chateaubriand for 2, which is like a porterhouse, but it's the filet cut, whatever. There's 3 little bits of meat left. And I go, the guy goes, you want to take it home? I go, no. Scott's like, you should take it home. I go, no. He goes, take it home. You know how you like steak and eggs? You can make steak and eggs the next morning. I go, hey, fuckhead. I'm not walking around with 3 things of meat in a bag.
It's like little pieces.
Yeah, little pieces. I'm like, but so we're in a car and he like doesn't let it go.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe you didn't take the steak home. And I'm like, dude. And he got mad at me because I said to him, I'm like, dude, you have like a weird poverty mentality where you're like panicked that there won't be more steak. Like there's gonna be more food. You don't have to hold on to the little morsels you have like it's the Oregon Trail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a poverty mentality because I know the guy. He's a nice guy. I like the guy.
No, I like him too.
He's got like a low-level grifter thing going on.
Well, that's part of it is that, I guess. But like to me, my whole thing is like, I was never a fan of the to-go.
No.
To-go
it looks trashy.
It looks, not only does it look trashy, it's never good.
Here's the thing. You're bringing it home to your, like, if you got kids who are like 13.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing when my parents would bring something home. It was nice. I still think they looked like trash bags earlier in the evening, bringing it out. But,
Yeah, and you know what would be nice? How about cooking those kids dinner instead of bringing them home something? But like, to me, the doggy bag concept, it says exactly what it is. You're a dog.
No,
you're a dog.
This is important to us.
Yeah.
This was a big night.
Yes. I don't want any of this. Have you ever seen in a restaurant someone take like literally a tablespoonful of mac and cheese and put it like a coffee cup with a little lid over it? It makes me, I want to go insane.
I remember I think one of the first times he took me to Walensky's.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was a great meal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I remember I looked around and go, you know what's weird is that for a lot of these people, this is just like the diner.
Right.
And like there's nothing this is just what they eat like every other day.
Right.
And that's where we should be. That's what you should aspire to. Well, not being like, this was we saved up, we scraped and skimmed for this.
Yeah. We say a whole year. Right. We put away pennies. Right. We took a jar of change down. We turned in a bunch of cans and this guy's got money. He's in a house, got a brand new car. Enough. I'm not shitting on poor people. I've been in shitty spots where I ate a wooden bowl of baked beans and sauerkraut.
Oh, sure.
When I was living in Manhattan in that fucking tenement and shit. Right. And I will probably again.
You mean when you were pretending to be a victim of Sandy?
Yes. The wounds were psychological. I got 1100 from FEMA.
Nice.
And all I lost was a Gin Blossom CD that I used to fucking do lines off of. But you remember that when I tried to claim to be a victim of Sandy?
Oh, yeah, but you were watching Breaking Bad the whole time.
Great. I was living in a 5-story walk-up. I was living with crazy comedians. 5-story walk-up. I'm on the 5th floor. I got a door. I got no door. I got a curtain. Leads into my room. We had bed bugs like 3 times in a year. There was a rat in the lobby. The shower was in the kitchen of the building. But I loved it because I was 25. I was like doing stand up. I'm like, this is my dream. I love it. I mean, on the roof smoking cigarettes. It was all cool.
Right.
And then Sandy happened. And everybody I know, all of my friends in Long Island are like huddled in their driveway with guns. People are trying to rob their houses.
I had no power for a week.
You had no power for a week. Everybody's fucked. I'm watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Kind of mad that the frozen yogurt place didn't switch the flavors.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, we're not gonna rotate. There's nothing new. But my part of New York City, Hell's Kitchen, 45th between 8th and 9th Avenue, did not lose any fucking power.
Right.
But then I found out that FEMA was giving out a little cash. FEMA was giving out cash. So,
that's why it's smart that you never officially change residences.
Correct. But I tried to sing the song. And they're like, listen, we usually give people 35 hunch. We're going to give you 11 hunch.
Oh, they smelled it on you.
They smelled a little fraud on me.
But it was kind of like Christmas on Long Island. It was like everyone was like, there was I profited off because I remember I was at the morgue and the county was trying to do a scam with FEMA. Here's what happened. This is fascinating. I don't know. I have to say allegedly, I guess, because this is just a speculation we did. But basically, they set up these different locations, mostly in schools or in town halls. These FEMA, I don't know, like what do you call them? They're these centers, like these emergency centers. It was basically just information. You'd have like official insurance guys from the state who'd come help you out, tell you how to fucking file your claims and shit. Now, the morgue was part of the health department, and they wanted basically everyone was allowed to go and work this thing, and the health department had like their flyers with don't get fucking black mold or whatever, and there was no cap, and we were making like huge overtime. So I would go after work and get like 8 hours of fucking go there for 8 hours. Just basically, I mean, I'd hand out flyers if people came by, but no one really came by much. And here's the thing: why were they doing it? Because the fucking county, we believe, was trying to like profit because the state was going to reimburse them, but for more money. This is Long Island. They're trying to like do pay us for like charity or whatever or volunteer work so they can like, get reimbursed for more from the state, and it backfired and they lost all their money.
What people don't understand is if America is largely, not all, but largely a group of incredibly selfish, dishonest people.
Right.
Let's just say that's a lot of us.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, Long Island is a concentration of that,
right?
In a way that's hard to believe unless you've spent any significant amount of time there. When Sandy happened, people automatically thought about how it could be used for their benefit.
Right.
Okay. Now, some people were genuinely hurt and their lives were destroyed.
Right.
But then there were many people, a lot of people, who used that for the next 7 years as an excuse.
Well, look, these people, you're one always pointing this out. These people live their lives waiting for their parents to die. They're grown people. They have their own house, but their retirement plan is their dead mother. And they have their own house because they took equity out of their mother's house for a down payment. Exactly.
Yeah. No.
And so that does something to you. That informs the way you live.
It's an entitlement that's become so deeply ingrained in them. It's cultural.
Right.
Long Island, it's a cultural entitlement in Long Island where people feel entitled to a house.
Right.
That doesn't exist. You go anywhere, these fuckers feel entitled to a house. And by the way, these aren't this isn't like the Kennedys where it's like a level of privilege backed with education and to a degree service,
right.
Or even let's be cynical and say the service is only to dominate others. It's still part of the plan.
Yeah.
I feel entitled to a house simply because I was shit out in Mercy Hospital or Nassau County Medical Center or LIJ. I have no education. I have no marketable skills. I'm a medical biller. I work at I wear a doctor's outfit, but I'm not a doctor. I'm a fucking receptionist at a massage parlor.
Right. I worked retail jobs where like the assistant, like the manager, but they got me $50,000 a year probably.
Yeah.
But like taking shit from the boss, and the boss is a millionaire, taking shit from the boss all the time, and goes, oh, fuck him. When my dad dies in 30 years, I'm going to have $1 million. And like, he meant it. It wasn't like, this is how these people cope with doing nothing.
People openly discuss this.
Yeah.
This isn't a hidden thing that they're waiting for their parents to die.
Right.
This isn't like swept under the rug. It's right out in front.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. When I do jokes about it, people laugh.
Yeah.
They get it because, some people are more open with it than others.
Right.
But it's not hidden.
Right.
It's not hidden. And I would just, I was sitting there with Scott. I picked up the tab. It was expensive. I had no problem with it. We had a good thing. And then he said to me, we got in an argument on the way home. So I'm like, dude, it's this mentality, this grimy, you're clinging, like there'll be more food.
Right.
It's going to be okay. You're not in a situation where you need no one is on Long Island. Nobody walking out with leftovers from Texas Roadhouse needs them. These are not people that aren't going to find, there's going to be more mac and cheese next week. Don't worry, folks, But I'm leaving New York. I thought I was going to hold on to my apartment. I'm not holding on to my apartment. Describe what you're looking at. You've been here, bud.
Yeah, I've been here before. Look, it looks like you're basically you're just like 25th hour, and you're going to the penitentiary tomorrow, and you're just kind of settling your affairs this actually looks like the place where Brooks hung himself in Shawshank.
It does.
That kind of place. It's like, I don't know, the radiators is from the before the Depression.
The doors are like school doors.
Yeah.
They're weird school doors that have like glass, and they're wood and glass, but it's a type of glass where you can't really see in.
No, yeah. They look like they were broken down when a Japanese family lived here during the World War II. And
I moved to LA already, but I thought I was just going to keep this apartment because I was going to come back to New York a lot. And then I just made the decision. I'm kind of done.
Yeah, you value, maybe to a fault even,
yeah,
a lack of hassle.
Right.
Like, this place is kind of a lack of, but it's for many reasons a depressing place to lay your head.
But what happens to me is a lack of hassle becomes hassle.
Right.
That's a lot of.
Look, that is part of the game. Because
how many friendships do I have that you've rightly pointed out?
Right.
I get something out of it.
Yeah.
But the insanity that comes with it,
right,
is so far outweighs. And then I realized I had this epiphany. I'm like, oh, I'm not even like a smart player. I'm addicted to insanity.
Well, here's the thing.
I just kind of like crazy people.
Yeah, because the people I don't think you say his name on the air, but your friend from the mortgage place or whatever,
Howie.
Yeah, Howie. Yeah. Like you look up to these, or not look up. Right. You value these people, but you actually you're intelligent, you have talent, and you're succeeding at something.
Yeah. These
people who keep all these balls in the air, it's because they're living in like the day-to-day hustle, and that's all they have.
Right.
And that's there's certain things to admire there. But like,
why do I like them?
Because you have a romantic view of the Kentian street urchins and fucking,
yes,
the Confederacy of dunces, and you like low level hustlers,
right?
But you also weren't hanging around St. Mark's getting stabbed all the time by them.
No,
I feel like you grew up. You want the old New York, and you like what they represent, because the alternative is disgusting. Also,
right?
It really is gross. If nothing else, they help clean out some of the these gentrifying idiots. I mean, I'm gentrifying too, I guess, to an extent. But whatever. Point is,
you're not gentrifying. You're de-gentrifying. Anyone who sees you, the prices go down.
I think I shouldn't feel bad.
You did not feel.
I'm counteracting.
Absolutely,
I like myself. No, but that's the problem. And you're not. They're not. These these guys aren't written by Gilbert and Sullivan.
There's something about
they're actually stupid low level people are boring. The hustle is actually kind of boring.
Well,
in real life.
I've started to realize that. I was talking to a friend of mine recently. I won't say their name, and I was talking to her, and I realized I was going, you know what? For all of the madness that these people bring into my life, that a lot of it is very funny.
Right.
A lot of it is it's never boring. It's very funny. But here's the thing, and you just kind of hit the nail on the head. It does start to get boring.
Right.
It actually does start to, because you realize these people never evolve in any way. And a lot of them are just deeply selfish people
Right.
who are afraid to grow and evolve. So what they do is they have these crazy lives, and they populate their lives with crazy characters. But at the end of the day, it's just a fucking excuse to never account for their own behavior. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, it's like, I mean, you've seen it. These are the same people you probably hung out with who were, whose kids were, on Easter Sunday fucking,
It's a joke I have in my act
Right,
now,
yeah.
where I go to a bar on Easter Sunday and, well, I don't want to give my joke away, but whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's all over social
Point
media.
is, while the mom's in the bar getting drunk.
Right.
Point is, like, it all seems fun in a joke.
Right.
But, like, when you actually know that person, it's just kind of sad. And also, like, it's like, when are you going to get your act together? That's that feeling
Right.
of, like, how many times can you tell someone?
There's something I liked about the freedom, though, I will be honest, and I still like, about people that resist convention. And there was something about a lot of the people that I knew in that period, and a lot of them were drunks, and a lot of them were not. But there, you look at some of the people that I'm around now in the entertainment business, and like the cognitive dissonance some of them have, where they're the good guys,
Right.
they're the resistance, and and then you look at their lives and you go, oh, you're doing the exact same things as all the people that you hate.
Right.
Really, I mean, literally.
I think the moral of the story is there's no one to look up to except Robert Mueller
Yeah,
for his
that's
Vietnam
it.
service. I mean, every senator, I don't know if you watched any of this fucking hearing. But
No, what was that like?
It was just, it's not what he said he was going to do. He was going to, I can't answer that. I won't elaborate. Read the report.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring me here?
Right.
But also every fucking congressman was like, thank you for serving in Vietnam. Would he just fucking he torched some village and like fucking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aren't these the people that were rightly against Vietnam?
Right.
Aren't these the people that didn't want Vietnam?
He actually, I was reading about this.
Mr. Mueller, in 20 years, it'll be like, thank you for your service at Guantanamo Bay. Now tell us about.
I was reading to say, he was in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, did it for a year, told his wife, I'm thinking about staying, doing this forever. And she's like, what? And then they transferred him to like a desk job, and he quit. His quote was, I didn't relish the Marine Corps absent combat. This guy just liked killing fucking peasants.
God, I didn't relish the Marine Corps absent my boot on somebody's neck. Nice. Folks, we have talked endlessly about the importance of having a website on this show. I think I've moved many of you to understand why you need to have a website, even in a world that is rapidly collapsing. In no time, we will probably have massive civil unrest. We will have certainly climate emergencies, probably more disasters, climate change, things like that. We'll probably have a crisis in the legitimacy of the government and ruling institutions. I can't see how we won't. Perhaps a separation of the military and the political structure. I'm just looking at some of the signs. I mean, this could potentially not happen as well. I don't know. You might see a total takeover of all available platforms by a technocracy, where everything you say becomes some type of advertisement for something, and we're all just selling each other things. I don't know. Maybe that's preferable. I don't know, and I don't care. All I want for all of you is to have a place to put your content so that people can see it. Go to timdillonsgoingtohell.com, TIMDILLONS, goingtohell.com. There is no is, just the S, Dillons Going to Hell. It was a site built using Wix. Wix is really amazing. So many stunning templates. They are stunning. Automated drag and drop website builder, very easy to use, even if you're not that bright, and I assume many of you are not. They have an artificial design intelligence, Wix ADI. It's what Andrew Yang is talking about. So you don't have to do anything. You can just answer a few simple questions, and Wix is going to design your website for you. So even in this time of potential chaos, of devolution, we must think about being on brand. It's very important that we stay on brand through the apocalypse. How to do that? Have a website where you can embed video, text, links. I'm telling you, nobody will be helped in an end time scenario by people that do not have a well-defined brand. You get it? People want hard lines around you. They want to know that you are a fully fleshed out thing. They can look and listen and go, we get it. That's essential. Even in a time when small groups of people are fighting over resources, you should be a well-defined brand. People need to know what they're getting. Okay? So do me a favor. Go to timdillonsgoingtohell.com. Wix will give you 10% off any premium plan. Over 150 million people have built their website using Wix. timdillonsgoingtohell.com. Wix will give you 10% off any premium plan. I mean, what did you say about the 9/11 thing? That was fun. Bring that up.
Well, he took the job of FBI director the week before 9/11, and he retired a few months after the Boston bombing. So his career is nicely bookended. And look, I don't know if the FBI really did anything that wrong in the ensuing years. I mean, were they involved in renditions and secret tours? I mean, who knows?
I think I would always. Of course they were. Default is.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. Look, he seems to have done a relatively professional job, but you're losing sight of the fact he ran the FBI for 10 years.
Yeah, he's
one of the most corrupt organizations I've ever seen in my life.
What we're living in upside down, topsy-turvy world where we have Bush torture era apologists on MSNBC,
right?
And we have Ann Coulter on like siding with InfoWars now. So it's like it's really nothing means anything,
right?
Nobody has any values. Nobody cares,
right,
about what their entire worldview was 6 months ago.
Right.
It's a constantly churning. And the thing with the Mueller investigation to me is we're no longer watching the movie. Like, for lack of a better way to explain things,
right,
that movie's over.
Yeah,
and we're not watching it anymore.
Sure,
Twitter's watching it.
Right.
The blue check marks, they're still heavily invested in it. The idea that you could maybe get Trump on obstruction when the sole central case that you cannot prove that him or his team conspired directly with them. It's not proven.
Well, I think here's the thing, and this is usually contentious because he wouldn't answer it, and I think he's trying to preserve the evidence for after Trump leaves office when they can actually charge him, because he's very much seems to be of the opinion that
Trump will not leave office. He's going to die in office, and then Ivanka will take over, and we're talking maybe 2030.
That sounds fun. But seriously, he's fucking, because I think there's that whole Justice Department thing where you can't charge a sitting president or indict a sitting president. And so he's kind of sticking to that. So I don't think he's saying that you couldn't get him on obstruction. I think he's just saying, I'm not allowed to get him on obstruction. But after we do, but he's not trying. He's trying not to fuck the evidence.
I guess this is a big deal if you weren't really.
But you lost. Here's the thing. Yeah. I believe he did a lot of stuff wrong.
Yes.
I don't know if he concluded on purpose, but the way
if you didn't think Trump was a criminal, right, I guess this is good for you.
Right. The way he acted after the fact, I mean, clearly on the surface, if it's not obstruction of justice, it might as well. But it's not becoming of anything to do with the Republic. That being said, politically speaking, you lost, and now you're just these Democrats have no sense of how they're appearing to the other side. That's what bugs me.
Well, it's also the idea that there are issues to run on.
Yeah.
There are issues to run on. You have a guy that has not really fulfilled any of his campaign promises. You have a broken healthcare system.
Do you think that Kamala Harris should say, I'm going to really fucking build this wall?
Well,
I'm going to fucking build an even bigger wall.
I think if Democrats continue to run on that open borders and that there is that they're going to provide health care for anybody who comes to the country illegally,
right,
and that that any kind of migration is asylum seeking, which is not the case. And if the standard for asylum seeking is that you're coming from a violent place, that's everywhere in the world. That's so many places.
Sure.
That's literally billions of people.
To be fair.
Yeah.
We like these places are kind of fucked up, and not every case necessarily, but a lot of cases because of
I 100%
we're over there fucking
listen. I am with you 100%.
Right.
And if somebody would like to tell me how
sure
to unwind the military-industrial complex,
right,
I will. I mean, within reason,
sure.
I would listen. Tulsi has some good ideas. I think maybe I'll support Bernie because he's the only one that's not on a conga line with Jeffrey Epstein. That's nice.
Are the rest of them supporting him?
No, I mean, Trump, Clinton, they've all been at Epstein's party. There's something nice about one guy that's not.
Do you think it's kind of like when a drug kingpin goes away and his turf is up for grabs? Like when with Epstein, like the other elite pedophiles are like vying for his kids?
Well, his kids are adults now.
But no, he was fucking them this year even.
Oh, that's true.
These people in
about to say his kids have one-woman shows that are being positively reviewed.
Oh, no,
I mean, the Epstein kids are there. Right. I don't know how Epstein goes down. I do think that it has a potential to be a big scandal. I do think you're going to see a lot of bold-faced names. I do think what will happen, unfortunately, is you're going to see so many bold-faced names. It's going to have the opposite effect where people are going to be like, they all can't be doing this.
Right.
And yes, they can. But I think that is going to make people go,